This week, on Days of Our Pirates, former Pirates All-Star and beloved fan favorite Starling Marte, who originally went to the Miami Marlins and then spent the rest of this year with the Oakland Athletics after the trade deadline, has been signed to the New York Mets with a 4-year, $78 million deal because the New York Mets wants to completely overhaul the roster and push for a championship. Starling Marte, this was his highlight with the Oakland Athletics, and he's one of the best players in terms of fantasy baseball, obviously. But Marte, I understand this doesn't have much to do with the Pirates organization right now, but he really was, he was my favorite player back when he played for the Pirates, and just what he did for this team was something that I think was remarkable, because the amount of talent, the amount of heart that he brought to his team, and what he demonstrated game in and game out for this team, not just with the Pirates, but he brought it to the Miami Marlins as well. And then, like I said, they traded him at the deadline to the Oakland Athletics, where he spent the rest of the 2021 season. It's all very inspirational. And Marte, he was there during the playoff runs, and just a former fan favorite, is a little bit closer to home now. He's in New York City, so not too far away from Pittsburgh, just probably 4 or 5 hours, a little longer than that. So at the end of the day, Starling Marte, he is on the New York Mets, and the Pirates saga, although all of the pieces from the playoff run are gone, we still remember them and their amazing moments that they gave us, even when it was towards the end of their tenure with the Pirates and we were a bad team. I mean, what Marte did, watching him play, it was just so fun, and my favorite player, to see him go to the New York Mets, and hopefully he can help them go far, push a deep playoff run, and maybe they can finally win the NL East. That would be absolutely spectacular for the Mets, because they really blew it this year. But the Mets, the Pirates tend to play the Mets a lot. They're going to be seeing some of Marte more often than they usually have. And with the Pirates, he was an all-star level. He was a Gold Glove, Silver Slugger. I mean, he was just a very amazing player for the Pirates. And obviously, I'm not comparing him to Babe Ruth or anything like that, but he certainly was a very solid baseball player. And to see him on a new team like the New York Mets, I mean, it really hits home. Because for the city of Pittsburgh, Marte, he was there when McCutchen and Cervelli were there, but really, the four main players, the stars, the city's favorites, had to have been Andrew McCutchen, Francisco Cervelli, Starling Marte, and Jun-Ho Gunn. When it comes to the hitters, obviously there was Garrett Cole and Francisco Liriano, Jeff Locke, players like that. But the Pirates, a former player, he's gone. He's headed to his third team since his Pirates tenure, and truly Josh Harrison as well. He was another one of those fan favorite when it comes to hitters. But Marte, a former player, one of the best players that the Pirates have had in the 21st century, especially in the past decade, he is gone. And he's been gone, but now he's on the New York Mets. Starling Marte, I can't express enough just how much I want to see this man succeed. And even though he's not playing for the Pirates anymore, it doesn't mean I don't want to see him be successful. I mean, look at these type of plays that he was making for the Pirates. He was one of the only bright spots whenever this team started to go on the decline again, and they certainly have not made it up since. And my hope is that players like Oneil Cruz and Ke'Bryan Hayes, who already looks pretty promising right now, Henry Davis, they can have this type of playing that Marte has. And yes, I'm not expecting Henry Davis to make amazing throws to catch people out, but when it comes to 150 yards away from first base, like Marte would be out in the outfield, because obviously Davis and them are a catcher. But this type of explosiveness, this type of heart and just talent that he brought to this team, Starling Marte is a model of what we need all of our prospects to be, because we have a lot of interesting prospects. Some of them, like Oneil Cruz, they came up with just a few games left in the 2021 season. Oneil Cruz already hit his first home run in his very first game, I believe, or the last game of the season. I forget which one, if I'm being completely honest. But what we need is Starling Marte as a sign of what could be to come if these recruits pan out. And a lot of these prospects, they're supposed to be very good. Like the Pirates, if these prospects, even if just a majority of them pan out, they could be pushing for a playoff spot in 2024 or 2025, as long as they stay around and no huge injuries happen, which I don't see why they wouldn't stay around, because they'd all be on their rookie deals. And I feel like a lot of these players are going to be a type of players that want to build a culture, and they're going to stay in a city like Pittsburgh and not just go to New York or Los Angeles or San Diego or Tampa Bay, teams like that, Boston. They're going to want to stay in Pittsburgh so they can help build that culture. And that's something that this team lacks, because Bob Nutting, trust me when I tell you, he does not like to pay his players. He gives his players low ball offers. And if there's a player who cares about money more than team success in any way, they're not staying with the Pirates as long as Nutty's the manager. So we need to have success like this, and we need to have success like this pretty early into these players' careers, assuming that a few of them may be heading elsewhere if this trend continues with our owner. And I absolutely despise the owner, but like I said, Marte, his type of talent, just the explosiveness he brought to this team, it's a model of what could be replicated in the next few years as this team hopefully starts to trend up and most likely will begin to start looking like a better baseball team. Maybe not a World Series contending baseball team, but definitely on the right track. And who knows, maybe a half a year from now, maybe there'll be a team that is starting to consistently make the playoffs, and you can tell that they're a fun young team on the rise like they used to be with McCutchen and Marte. As you see on this play, this was one of the most infamous plays of his. He was called out, but he was actually end up being called safe. They reviewed it and he was safe. These type of plays is what we could be seeing in Pittsburgh with our recruits and with our prospects, because they're going to be coming up. We're going to have a lot of young players, a lot of young talent, and if they pan out, if even half of them pan out, we're going to see a similar type of baseball team than what we saw when Marte was in his prime and when he was younger. We're going to see the same type of baseball, and that's why this news is so important, because it reminds us of what could come, and it also reminds us of what we had. We had a phenomenal player in Starling Marte. I always remember when I was young, the first few times I watched the Pirates, when Marte came up to bat, it was something about that man that I just liked. And that was before I even really knew the game of baseball. I just liked Starling Marte. And here he finally gives us an update on Days of Our Pirates, because like I said, there will be off-season updates, and this is one of them. Marte, as you're going to see here, he was called safe. All of PNC went insane, and hopefully these are moments that we're going to be seeing again in PNC Park, and maybe even this year, but hopefully just a few short years. And I really hope so, because man, it would just be so nice to see this team go in a positive direction. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I know it's kind of a surprise. I'm glad I was able to update you guys, and like I said, there will be off-season updates, so keep your eyes open. If there's any news revolving around the Pirates, or any past Pirates that were, fairly known or well known like Marte, there's going to be news about them. There will be a Days of Our Pirates. So I hope you all had a happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy your day of college football today. And just like Starling Marte hopefully showing us what is to come in Pittsburgh in the future years, so are the Days of Our Pirates.
Again to Polanco. And he slips!